Yo yo, have you ever wasted more time walking back to a boss than actually fighting it? That's this door. But is it worth the frustration? Let me tell you all about it. Death's Door is an isometric action-adventure game developed by Acid Nerve, a small indie team composed of only 2 people. The game was pitched to me as an amazing masterpiece, an indie Souls-like that would take your breath away. But what got my attention was the protagonist. You are a crow with a lightsaber, and you work in an office of sorts. The job? To collect the souls of those who try to escape death. The gameplay is a mix of fast-paced combat, exploration, and puzzle solving. You have a bunch of weapons that you can find during the story, but they all feel very samey. So I just stuck with the default sword during my playthrough. As for defenses, there's a dodge and a parry that you can use against flying spell projectiles. You also have 4 spells that you unlock one by one, but they are kinda useless in combat, because they all have a charge time. However, they fulfill the Metroidvania trope of using said spell to be able to unlock the next zone by using them against random terrain or objects. Oh, and there's a passive upgrade system that I would describe as underwhelming. You can get more damage, faster attacks, faster dodges, and so on, but the impact is so minimal that you don't even notice it. Most other mobs die in like 3 hits. After you upgrade your damage, they will still die in 3 hits. You have to go halfway through the progression tree to get it down to 2, and the whole way just to be able to one-tap them. That's your basic description of the playable character. Let's get into level design, which I'll call a repetitive clusterfuck. There are 2 main sections for each zone, the one before the door opens and the one after. In the first one, you roam around and need to find full souls of all dead reapers that will be used to unlock the door and trigger a fight to get a new power. These fights are some of the most fun content in the game. After that, you gotta use your newly acquired spell to progress to the next zone, leading to a boss fight of that level. That doesn't sound so bad now, does it? Except the levels are a labyrinth of paths that all look the same and you just move from one side to another of a ledge, rinse and repeat. There are about 3 checkpoints total in each one of these levels. At the very start, somewhere in the middle after you get the door, and at the very end in front of the boss room. If you die anywhere in between these checkpoints, everything restarts and you have to walk and fight your way back for who knows how long just to get back to where you were. That is, if you can remember which way you went and how you got there, because there's no actual map in this game to figure out where you are. The bread and butter of this game seems to be horde-style encounters. You'll get trapped in a room and monsters will start coming at you. These fights either feel like the easiest walk in the park or straight up overwhelming. And not because they are difficult per se, but because of the sheer amount of enemies. If you get chipped by anything, you are in for a bad time, because you only have 4 hit points, and the harder rooms are right before the next checkpoint you can reach, thus making you redo the whole section again if you die. Even the heals are limited. You gotta pray to God that you find a plant pot, where you can put a senzu bean and eat it right there on the spot. And that's it, the pot is gone. You're just gonna roam around until you find another pot if you need another heal. This whole loop leads to a very frustrating experience that's shared by the Dark Souls games as well. These long and drawn out runbacks to be able to progress, with either empty zones or enemies not worth fighting that you just go straight past. I lose all the adrenaline and hype whenever I see that I have to do the walk of shame. Just let me throw my body at these rooms. I want to experience the fight and learn how to do it. I don't want to walk past the same fence for the 10th fucking time in a row. There have been multiple times where I Alt F4'd out of the game because I was so close to finishing the encounter, died, and the run back was a total boss kill. These horde encounters sometimes feel harder than the bosses themselves. And again, not because of the difficulty, but because of the sheer amount of time it takes to get back if you fuck up. And they feel so out of place, because during the fights that actually matter, there's an instant respawn point, right at the start of the fight. This being the avarice fight to get a new power, and the final boss of that zone. Both of these just show you a menu screen and ask you if you wanna restart. So they clearly thought about it, and made the right decision in these 10 or so fights, but forgot to do the same thing for everything else. Speaking of, let's get into the bosses, which is the main reason why I stuck with the game. There are very few of them. There's 3 main ones and a few secret ones that I won't spoil. There's also secondary bosses that you find in hidden rooms. Defeating them will upgrade some of your abilities, such as Afterburn for the fire spell, no friendly fire on the bomb, and so on. All these bosses have clearly defined patterns, where they'll attack a bunch of times, then stop for a moment so you can get a few attacks in yourself. They also have only like 3 different attacks, and that's it. Most of the mechanics are easily dodgeable and the fight becomes a joke after a few tries. That is, except the very last boss, which has an 8 phase initial encounter where you move between arenas and wipeout zones, and then an actual boss fight where he goes back to doing only 3 or 4 attacks. My feelings on this game is that if you want to be like Dark Souls, make better fights. Don't make me walk back for 5 minutes every fucking time, just to get back where I was. Might as well play Death Stranding at that point. Overall, I say that Death's Door is a visually interesting game, with an amazing art direction and a very unique style. However, the repetitive level design and frustrating runbacks can significantly detract from the overall experience. I just wish they'd put as much effort into the game's feel and mechanics as they did in everything else. If you are looking for a fast, snappy, responsive combat, you might as well want to explore other options like Hades or Dead Cells. But if you are willing to overlook these flaws and enjoy a challenging adventure, this is the game for you. You have plenty of time to analyze your mistakes after every death, while you get back to where you were. So, have you played Death's Door? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this game. What were your favorite moments? What were your biggest challenges? And what did you think about those endless runbacks? Share your experience in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future content, because you know I gotcha.